Hello students. So after understanding what type of numbers we have, prime numbers, natural numbers, integers, rational, real numbers and complex numbers, now we need to understand some of the operations, basic operations on a numbers. Clear? What are the basic operations? If you know, there are four basic operations. First operation is this. What is this named as? This is named as plus. And plus is, we call it addition. This is second. It is minus. Minus means subtraction. This is subtraction. Clear? Third one is this. This is called times. Times is called multiplication. Multiplication. Clear? And the fourth one is divide. This is divide. Divide means division. So I want to tell you here, we have four basic mathematical operations that we need to understand, that we need to use in this arithmetics chapter number 1, means basic mathematics chapter number 1. Clear? So these are the four basic operations, and we need to understand some basic laws on these numbers, these operations. So law number 1, it is the commutative law. Commutative law. What is commutative law? Commutative law is, it is basically on plus and multiplication. So if A plus B equals to B plus A, that means if you add 2 plus 3, this is law number A. So if you are finding 2 plus 3, it is same as 3 plus 2. Clear? This is called commutative law. And this is for multiplication also. A times B is equal to B times A. Clear? That means if you are multiplying 3 times 7, you are calculating 3 times 7. So the answer in 7 times 3 will be same. There is no change here. Clear? In exam, what type of question we may ask you? We like 7 plus 11. 7 plus 11 is equal to dot 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 plus 7. So what number will come in this? Fill in the blank. So if you see, the answer here will come 11. So this type of questions generally asked in exams. So this is commutative law. Second law is associative law. Associative law is on 3 numbers A, B, C, and all the 3 numbers what should be? Maybe anything, means they may natural number, they may integers, they may prime numbers, they may real numbers, rational numbers, and it is true for all type of numbers. Clear? Even complex numbers, it is true. So there are 2 laws here. One is A plus B plus C equals to A plus B plus C. That means if you will add B plus C, whatever outcome you are getting, same you will add to A. So you will get one answer. Same answer you will get if you will add A plus B first and then you will add it to C. This is for addition. And same is for multiplication. A times B times C is equal to A times B times C. Clear? So what type of question we will ask from this topic in exam? If it is 7 plus 20 plus 16, if this is the value left side, what it will be? 7 plus dot and plus 16. So what number will come in fill in the blanks? If you see, there are 7 plus 20. Here it is this side. So now A plus B. So this will come. So what answer will come here? Answer will come here is 20. Clear? Another question you can look here. Okay, dot. Clear? Times 14 into 16 is equal to 7 times 14 times 16. So what will come? Here look, this is AB. Here it is BC. So A will come out. So what is here? A, 7. Clear? So this type of question generally we may ask for 1 mark. What will come in fill in the blank? Now we'll move to the rule number 3, and rule number 3 is distributive law. Distributive law is for two operations, plus and multiplications. It is on two operations. Distribute, we are operating. Clear? So like first we'll study A dot B plus C. Clear? So what will be the answer here? This is A times B, then plus A times C. Clear? This is one law. Another law is A times B minus C. It is what it will be? A times B, and then this negative. It is A times C. Clear? This may be written like this one, like if we are taking, say, A plus B times C, means here we are multiplying first, here we are multiplying last. Clear? It is same. It will be A times C plus B times C. Clear? This is how to write the distributive law. What type of questions we may ask you in exam? If 4 times 3 plus 9, what is the answer here? It is 4 times 3 plus dot times 9. What will come here? So here it is 4 times 3 plus 4 times 9. So here the fill in the blanks will be 4. This is how to find the distributive law property, how to use distributive property in case of numbers. Now next topic we will study factors. Factors. Clear? Factors means if. How we can write? If I am writing 6 is equal to 2 times 3. We know 6 times 3 is equal to 6. Clear? So if we multiply two numbers, clear? So these two numbers can divide these numbers, means this 6 is divisible by 2, 6 is divisible by 3. Clear? So if a number is divisible by another number, then those numbers are called factors of the number. So here, because 6 can be written as 2 times 3, so 2 and 3, here 2 and 3 are factors of 6. So 2 and 3 are the factors of 6. So factors, if we are talking about factors, so we must know, we must remember the number should be divisible. Divisible means what? Divisible means quotient. Quotient must be integer. Integer means Z. Quotient must be integer. So let us look here. I will explain you. If we try to find the factors of 6, so what will be factors of 6? Factors of 6, we will start with 1. We are talking about total possible factors. 6 by 1. And if we divide 6 by 1, it will be 6. Now check 2. 6 divided by 2, it is 3. 6 divided by 3, it is 2. 6 divided by 4, if you will check it, it is 1.5. 6 divided by 5, it is 1.2. And 6 divided by 6, it is 1 only. Clear? So if you go to the previous slide, I told you the answer must be integer. Clear? Here, look, this is integer, this is integer, this is integer. This is not integer because we are getting a decimal answer. So we will cut it. Here also we are getting a decimal answer. We will cut it. So only 4 places we are getting integer outcome. These numbers we are getting. So what are the total possible factors of 6? So first possible factor is 1. Second possible factor is 2. Third possible factor is 3. And fourth possible factor is 6. So these are the possible factors of 6. Clear? Now let us calculate another number. Let us take possible factors of 8. Factors of 8. How to find factors of 8? So we will start with 1. 8 upon 1, it is 8. 8 upon 2, it is 4. 8 upon 3, it is 2.6. 8 upon 4, it is 2. 8 upon 5, it is 1.6. 8 upon 6, it is 8 upon 6 is 1.3. 8 upon 7, it is 1.1. And 8 upon 8, it is 1. Clear? So if you notice here, this is not a integer outcome, decimal. Cut it. This is also decimal. Cut it. This is also decimal. Cut it. This is also decimal. Cut it. Clear? So what are the possible factors of 8? Possible factors of 8 is 1, 2, 4 and 8. These are the possible factors of 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. Clear? If you notice here, one important thing that all the numbers coming in between, what is 3? 3 is the half of 6. Half of 6 is 3. So any number coming in between, it will not be a factor. Like 6, half is 3. So 4 and 5 will not factor. Similarly, if you see here, what is the half of 8? It is 4. So 5, 6, 7, these 3 numbers will not be factor. Similarly, one more example I will tell you. It is for, say, factors of 12. Factors of 12. So what is the half of 12? Half of 12 is 6. So we will check up to 6 only. Clear? 12 upon 1, it is 12. 12 upon 2, it is 6. 12 upon 3, sorry. 12 upon 3, it is 4. 12 upon 4, it is 3. 12 upon 5, it is 2.4. 12 upon 6, it is 2. And 12 upon 12, it is 1. You notice here, I did not check after 6 because I told you after 12, the half of 12 is 6. So no need to check for 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. We will check directly for 12. So what are the factors of 12? The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. This is not a factor. Why? Because we are getting a decimal outcome. So these are the possible factors of 12. Clear? Now factors are of two types. Proper factor, improper factor. Like subset we have proper subset, improper subset. Similarly, numbers also means factors also proper and improper. So if you see here this one, the first number and this one, last number, same to same. These two are called improper factor. These two are called improper factor. While these four, 2, 3, 4, 6, these are called proper. These two are called proper factor. Clear? So, if we see backslide, look here. What is this? This 1 and this 8. 8. These two are called improper factor. And these two, 2 and 4, are called proper factor. These are proper factor. Clear? So this is how to find the proper factor and how to find the improper factor. So accept 1 and the number itself. 1 and the number itself. All factors are proper factors. Clear? Now we will define a number that is named as prime number. This we have already studied, but now I will explain in another way. Prime number. Clear? A number that do not have proper factors. A number that do not have proper factors is called prime number. A number that do not have proper factor is called prime number. For example, clear? And one more thing I will tell you, 2 is the first prime number. First, okay, we can write it first prime number. 2 is the only even prime number. Please remember, first prime number, even prime number. Clear? These are the two important things about 2. Clear? Now we will learn how to write about the numbers. If you will see, 2 can be written as 1 times 2 only. Or you can say, what are the factors of 2? The factors of 2 are 1 and 2 only. What are the factors of 3? 1 and 3 only. What are the factors of 4? It is 1, 2, 4. So look here. Here it is proper factor available. So this is not a prime number. If you will go with 5, so only factors possible are 1 and 5. If you will go with 6, so let us look 1, 2, 3 and 6. So look here, there are 2 proper factors available. So 6 is not a prime number. Check 7, 1 and 7 only. Check 8, 1, 2, 4 and 8. So 2 and 4 are proper factors. So 8 is not a prime number. So you need to find total possible factor of a number. If it have proper factors, then it is not a prime number. You need to check it. Like 9, 1 is there, 3 is there and 9 is there. So this is proper factor available. So 9 is not a prime number. 10, 1, 2, 5 and 10. So two proper factors 2 and 5 are available. So 10 is not a prime number. But 11, if you will see, there is no proper factor available. So for 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, there is no proper factor available. So these numbers are called prime numbers. Clear? If you will see the problem set 2 means exercise I have given for you for week 2. First question is find the prime numbers between 1 to 50. So practice at home and try to find out all the possible factors of a number and check whether the number having proper factor. If have the proper factor, then it is not a prime number. Now, the most important technique that we need to study is how to find prime factors. Prime factors of a number. This you need to learn because next slide you will find many questions over this. Prime factors. Clear? How to find prime factors? First of all, you need to remember what are the prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17 and 19 and dot. So many prime numbers are there. So now you will divide the number by these numbers only. You cannot divide by 1. You cannot divide by 4. Clear? So like we need to find prime factors of, let us take one number. Okay, choose 12. Clear? So prime factors of 12 we are finding. Look how to do it. Write 12, make one line here and here. Because this is a even number, because 2 is last digit, unit place. So we will divide by 2. 2 times 6. Again 6 is here. 2 times 3. The moment you get a prime number here, stop. 3 is a prime number, so stop. So what are the prime factors of 12? Prime factors of 12 are 2 times 2 times 3. 2, this is, and this is. Clear? So this is 2 times 2 times 3. These are the prime factors of 12. Clear? Now we will choose another number 18. How to find the prime factors of 18? Let us take. It is, we'll start with 2 because this is even number. 2 times 9. Then 9 is an odd number. 3. 3 times 3. Finish. Because this is even number. Sorry, prime number. So what are the prime factors of 18? Prime factors of 18 are 2 times 3 times 3. Now, if you want to find the prime factors of, say, let us take 42. So how to find the prime factors of 42? It is, because 2 is here, so we will start with 2. It is 21. 21 is divisible by 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, divisible by 3. So we will divide by 3. It is 7. And 7 is a prime number. Clear? Whenever you get a prime number here, stop. So what are the prime factors of 42? It is 2 times 3 times 7. These are the prime factors of 42. We can take any big number. Let us take one big number. so that you can understand. Okay, let us take say 400. Clear? So 400, how to find the prime factors? Look, first divide by 2. How much you will get? 200. Again divide by 2. How much you will get? 100. Divide by 2 again. How much you will get? 50. Divide by 2 again. How much you will get? 25. Now 5 is the last digit. So it will divide by 5 and 5. So this is a prime number. Stop. So what are the prime factors of 400? It is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. These are the prime factors. So this is the way how to find the prime factors of a number. Now the last topic in this slide, we will learn divisibility principle. Divisibility. Clear? So in your, as per your course contents, we will check divisibility by 2, divisibility by 3, divisibility by 5 and divisibility by 11. These 4 types of divisibility we will study. Clear? So first of all, divisibility by 2. Divisibility of 2. So if any number, if the unit place means first digit, is 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. If unit place digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then the number is divisible by 2. Clear? So you need to focus on these numbers. For example, 4770 divisible by 2. 3892 divisible by 2. Clear? 9324 divisible by 2. 8906 divisible by 2 and 1228 divisible by 2. Why these numbers are divisible by 2? Because we are checking the first digit, unit place digit. If unit place digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then the numbers are divisible by 2. Clear? So first we'll check with 2 only if these digits are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I write one number 977 say 5. Is this divisible by 2? No, this is not divisible. Why? Because here is 5, not 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is how to check the divisibility by 2. Now the second principle is divisibility by 3. Divisibility by 3. How we check the divisibility by 3? Very simple. Divisibility by 3 means if the sum means plus of all the all the digits of the number is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. For example, 6, 7, 2. So what we'll do? We will not check. What we'll do? We will do 6 plus 7 plus 2. What we are saying? Sum of all digits. 6 plus 7 plus 2. How much it is total? 6 plus 7, 13 plus 2, 15. And if we divide 15 by 3, it is divisible. Because 15 is divisible by 3, so 672 is divisible by 3. Clear? One more question I will solve in this. Like example, if we are taking 1003, is this divisible by 3? Let us check. 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 3. How much total? It is 4. And 4 is not divisible by 3. So this number is not divisible. Clear? Here whatever the sum is coming, total of digits, if it is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. Let us take one more example. 4, 2, 2, 1. Is it divisible by 3? Let us check. 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. And the total is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. Yes, we are getting answer. Clear? So this is divisible by 3. Understand? Now I will ask you one question with the exam perspective. Which of the following is divisible by 3? I will write 4 numbers here. 1, 1, 2. B. 6, 0, 3. C. 229. And D is 104. Look, what is the total here? 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 4. 6 plus 3, 9. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 13. Sorry. And 4 plus 1 is 5. Clear? If you see only one number is divisible by 3, that is this. So this is the right option. This type of question we may ask you in final exam or midterm exam or other exam. Okay, let us check with the divisibility by 5. If the digit at ones place means first number is 0 or 5. Clear? So if 0 or 5, then divisible by 5. Example 4330. Look, 0 is here. 795. 5 is here. 409.65. 0 is here. Sorry, 5 is here. And 600. 0 is here. So if the first number or ones place digit is 0 or 5, then the number will be divisible by 5. And the last is divisibility by 11. divisibility by 11. Here find sum. Sum means plus of odd place digits. What is another one? Find sum of even place digits. Find the sum of even place digits. Now find the difference. Find the difference of A and B. Whatever the numbers sum you find the difference. Clear? If difference is divisible by 11, then the given number is divisible by 11. Understand? So this is how to find the divisibility by 11. We will learn by one question example. So we are taking 4, 3, 3, 9. Just wait. So 4, 3, 7 and 9, 3, 12, 5. The difference of 4, 3, 9 and 6, 15. 15, 15 and it is 9 and 3, 12 and 3, 15. Okay. So this is the number. We need to check whether it is divisible by 11 or not divisible by 11. So this is odd place we will find. These are the odd places. First position, fifth position, third position and fifth position. This is second position, fourth position and sixth position. So first we will find the odd places 3 plus 9 plus 3 and the answer is 12. 3 plus 9 plus 3. No. Answer is 15. Clear? And if we find the sum, even places 6 plus 3 plus 4. The answer is 13. Clear? Find the difference. 15 minus 13 and the answer is 2. Clear? And 2 is not divisible by 11. Clear? So this number is not divisible by 11. Please listen here. We will find the sum at odd places, sum at even places. Clear? If this number is divisible by 11 difference, then it is divisible, otherwise not divisible. Let us take another number like 3, 6, 3. 3, 6, 3. Clear? This is another example. One example is this one, another example this one. Clear? 3, 6, 3. So look here. This is odd place, even place only one number. Clear? So what is the sum at odd places? 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. And what is the total sum of even places? Only 6. Now find the difference. 6 minus 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. And 0 is always divisible by every number. Clear? So 0 is divisible by 11. So this number is divisible by 11. This is how to find the divisibility. So my dear friends, we have studied the divisibility principle and the factors. I request all of you, please listen this video again and again and try to solve all the questions whatever is given in your assignment. Thank you very much.